Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm here with our February 21st Foiled Tuesday, and we got quite the lineup for you. I don't think you can tell how thick this stack is, but she's thick, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it because I don't want this video to be 5 million years long. So this week's theme is blooms and basics. So we have some flower themed items, and then we have some new permanent items that are going to be in the shop for quite some time, but for this week only during the Foiled Tuesday time, it's discounted down. So let's just go ahead and get into it. I'm going to do the foiled stuff first just because I feel like this is like a little hefty and intimidating right now. So I'm gonna avoid that, procrastinate a little bit, and we'll get started with this, which also these items kind of got a facelift too, so we're kind of dealing with a lot of new stuff this week and I'm really excited about it. Also, yeah, that's super cute. Anyway, so let's get started. First we have our flower garland, which as you might see, kind of got an update. We have a little bit of a daintier style garland. Let me see if I even have one over here real quick. I have one from the butterfly collection right here, I believe. So this butterfly is like the old style garland, and here's the new, so you can see that it's a lot daintier. It's more like fairy light style, and I think it's like really pretty. Hopefully you agree, because it did take me quite some time to individually move each little dot. So we have our new garland here. You can see just how dainty it is compared to the old one, and you also get more now, apparently. Or do you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I get 4 more now, so that is that. This particular sheet just got a little bit of an update. Before, all the dots were the same size, but now they kind of have like a variety of sizes just to make it like more interesting. But this is the flower variety garland. We have the flower droop garland, which didn't change that much. Like I said, it's mostly just like there's a variety of width of dots just to make it more visually interesting. Same thing with the layered droop garland and the flower combo garland as well. We also made our dotted flower, well, the dotted divider, similar style too. So everything is like all cohesive. I feel like before it was like you kind of had like your regular items and then you had like your dainty regular items, and I just wanted to slim it down a little bit because I just feel like some of the items were like kind of repetitive. So we have your regular garland here. It's classic. I feel like we couldn't get rid of that. And then the variety garland, if you normally pick up the mini garland, you can pick up the variety garland and kind of get similar vibes there. The droop garland as usual. I don't really have any layered garland anymore, but I feel like between these two you get a lot of your layering needs. And then I don't have the dangles or the mini dangles, just because, at least for this specific release, the little icon in here like is not like orientation specific. So if you turn this way, now it is a dangle deco technically. So I just felt like it was like a little repetitive, and then if you want a mini one, just cut it. So now we have the dotted flower divider. If it is orientation specific, like if you wanted to actually dangle it, that icon would have to be the other way. Then we might have the dangle deco, but for this specific release, it wasn't really like important to be facing a certain way, so that's why we only did the divider. I hope that makes sense. But next we have our cluster deco. Not really any changes to this. And we have our mini deco. Again, no changes here. Just super dainty and pretty. Here is the dangle dates. These did get a little bit of an upgrade to match the overall dainty style. So these are quite a bit dainty as well. For example, here is the butterfly one, and then here are the flower dangle ones. It just felt like these matched the vibe better. This is just kind of like what I feel like a lot of people are gravitating more towards right now. So just kind of want to match the style of what you guys are looking for. Obviously, of course, like I released for this specific release what I thought were like the most popular items, or you know, would be the best items to like slim down to. But if there's something that you normally pick up that I kind of like left out, let me know, and I'll like see if it makes sense to bring it back. But I think most of the stuff, it didn't make any sense for the other things, but I am not afraid to go back and look. Anyway, so the cluster dates also got a little bit of an update, and by an update I mean they just got a little bit bigger. So before they used to be so like super teeny tiny, and like don't get me wrong, they're still pretty tiny, but they are definitely like bigger. I think here you got 1, 2, sorry I can't count. You got 3, you still get 3 months on here, but as you can see, like the number, like even the number 1 right here is quite a bit bigger. So I feel like these had the chance to get lost in your spread, and now these don't. Like I said before, I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago that if you wanted the cluster dates, like if you wanted the smaller one and the bigger one, so now that I have this bigger one, let me know if you also want me to offer this smaller one as well. But I just feel like this is like a happy in between of like too big and like too small. I think it's like just right. So hopefully I'm right. Next we have these little floral postage stamps. We have the mini one and the regular one, just kind of depending on what you're going for. And then these ones are fun. I really wanted these so bad for myself, so a little selfish with this, but I feel like these are so fun and that a lot of you will like them. So these are more of like an inky style of floral, so kind of like if you took a calligraphy pen and like drew it yourself, except I don't have drawing skills, so these kind of fill that need for me, especially for spring. So if you get these in black, it would kind of just like, I don't know, I just feel like it would be so cute, almost as if you drew it yourself, but not really. But so here we have our foiled in gold. We have the blossoms. Like I said, these are just like an inky style of drawing. So here we have the blossoms, which are just like some actual like flowers. Here's the leafy branches. I really love like the shape of these. These are the mini blossoms, so of course just a smaller scale version of the blossoms that you just saw. It's not specifically like these blossoms shrunk down, it's just like a more simplified version of it, if that makes sense. Here are just some regular leaves. You get a good variety of different like shapes and such. This is my favorite, these little blossom clusters and these floral clusters. These are so freaking cute. The blossom clusters are just like so fun. I feel like those would be good like peeking out of things, and then these little floral clusters are so cute. I love this one right here. It's kind of just like the little buds in a bunch, and then this one here, like this little corner. I love it so much. And then these are little flowers, so these are smaller than even like the mini blossoms, and they are like super simple, so you're not like losing any detail by shrinking them down. And then we have little leaves here, so these are just like individual little like leaf petals. They're not like branches with leaves on them. So Those are the little leaves. And then these four you might recognize from last year. I wanted to bring them back again. So we have our leaf mini deco, the branch mini deco, the stem, and the bud. I think I released these during our Easter release last year. I could be wrong, but they're back. You get more on the sheet this year too, so that is super fun if you were looking to pick up more of those. I feel like they're such a staple. And then, oh gosh, we still have a couple more foil things left, and then we have like the behemoth of other items, so just stick with me. So we have our flower dotted washi. Again, she's dainty, she's cute, she's beautiful. We have the flower layered garland washi. Again, updated to be more cohesive. Same thing with the flower combo garland washi. You guys do not even want to know the amount of time that it took me to put these dots like in this pattern, in this order, like in this like style. It took an embarrassingly long amount of time. I feel like there should be an easier way to do it. So I need to play around with it a little bit more, but I don't plan on updating it for a little bit longer, especially now that I spent all that time on it. So that is a problem for future Alicia. So let's just go ahead and get into these new permanent items in the shop. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 new items. So first up we have these classic lace items, which kind of just to explain the backstory behind this, Jenny from Jenny and Her Plans on Instagram. She's on our PR team if you haven't checked her out already. She's talking about how she has like some older kits that she wants to use, but they don't have like the fun new boxes. Like for example, this kit was released on Friday if you haven't checked it out already. But here's the boxes page. So you get like fun lace shapes, you get little like blobs, lace squares, like midi swashes, like midi lace, you know, stuff like that, right? And you don't get that in the older kits, and like you already spent your money on the older kits, so let's try and like fix that. So I have just some staples that you can put like use with some of your older kits to like modernize them a little bit. So we have 4 items from the classic lace collection. All of these are featured in our weekly kits. You can even buy these to like use with the kits. Like say for example, like say you hate these boxes here and you want more of the lace ones, you can grab ones that are closer match. Like say you don't want to use these boxes down here and you want to use more of these shapes, then just you can pull some of these in too. So it doesn't just have to be for like older kits either. So but we have the oval in our kits, the mini circle, the mini square, and the midi box. So all of these are already in our kits, but we have 12 different colors here, which I'm going to show you the colors on one of these other sheets in a second, but I just kind of wanted to give you an overview of these first. We have 3 watercolory shapes. So we have the mini circle, which is also on that boxes page. We have this mini square, which is actually on our functional page. And then we have these midi swashes, which is on the boxes page as well. So these are like the watercolor style that I brought. And then these last 2 sheets are on the bigger side. So we have watercolor swatches, which I've released these before in like 2 different colors. I want to say we released them in like green and yellow when we did some sunflower stuff. So I just went ahead and just brought them in like 12 like spring staple colors. You can use these in summer too. And then we also have the alcohol ink swatches, which I did these in black for Halloween, and then Rachel asked me if I could make them in other colors. And I'm just now getting around to it, but I think it's perfect for the springtime. So all of these, the watercolor swatches and the alcohol ink swatches, are available in white and transparent matte, and then the same thing with the watercolor is available in white and transparent matte. For the classic lace, I like didn't even bother with doing it in transparent matte just because I feel like it made no sense to do it in transparent matte. So that is everything for now. Let me go ahead and show you the color palettes. I'll show you this on the watercolor swatches here real quick because I feel like that's the easiest to see, or is the alcohol ink easier to see? Let's go with alcohol ink. Alcohol ink I think is easier to see on camera. So these bigger sheets, like the kit size sheets, are marked down to $3 right now. And then these size are marked down to $2. So after $2 Tuesday is taken down, these will permanently be in the shop, but they'll be marked back up to their normal price. So keep that in mind. So first we have Lemon Chiffon, which is just a pretty pale yellow color. We have Honeydew, which is just like straight up, like so pretty. I love this color so much. It's like such a pretty like melon color, obviously given the name. We have Azure, which is like not your baby blue color. Like this color here is more like your typical baby blue. This is like more like a greenish blue. So we have Azure here. Next we have more of that baby blue. So this is Alice Blue. This is Lavender. It's like a true purpley color. And then this one's Lavender Blush, so this is like more of like a pink tinted purple color. Here is Mimi Pink. This is like very like millennial type of pink. This isn't really like the classic pink that we normally use like throughout our shop. This Misty Rose color is more closely related to that, so you can kind of see the difference between these two pink colors. And of course I have digital swatches on the shop as well too, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about better. But let me show you the comparison of the two blues. I think I did that already, but I just want to make sure. And then the comparison between the two purples. So there are the two purples. Next we have Seashell, which is kind of like a pinky, peachy, orangey color. This is Champagne Pink. Next we have Linen. Here you can kind of compare Champagne Pink. So this is Seashell, Champagne Pink, and then Linen. And then last I wanted to have like one neutral tone. So this is like a greige color. So we have Alabaster here. So those are the alcohol ink swatches in the 12 different colors. And then just to kind of like give you an overview, here is the watercolor swatches and all the different shapes that you get. I have these laid out in the planner in a second, so I don't want to like flip through every single dang sheet that we got here because that would take forever. Here are those watercolor MIDI swatches. I feel like the yellow is like hard to see. I don't know why I put that on top. Here are the mini squares. The mini circles. Oops, I grabbed two different things. That's fun. And then we have the ovals. We have the mini circles. The lace ones, I guess I should say. We have the lace squares. And then we have the lace midi boxes. They're just turned on their side. You normally put them here. I fit more on the sheet when I flip them that way, so that's why they're oriented that way. So let's go ahead and flip. Ta-da! So I guess I'll do the foily things first, and then we can move on to the colors. So here are your stamps. You have the 3 different washies here. Here is like the simplified garlands. Some of them are over here. You can kind of see how big the new date cluster is here and the new dainty line for the dangle dates. Here's all those little mini deco pieces from before, and then this is just an assortment of like those inky floral accents. I hope that you could see that just now. I literally just looked in the camera. I was like, I'm not sure you can see that, so hoping for the best. So here are some of the items laid out. I didn't want to lay all of them out because that would quite literally take up so much of this planner. So these two columns are the alcohol swatches, and these two columns are the watercolor swatches. You have your lemon chiffon, honeydew, the azure, the Alice blue, lavender, lavender blush, Mimi pink, misty rose, seashell, champagne pink, linen, and alabaster here. So these are these two items. You can kind of see that they are like kind of on a bigger scale. I did go ahead and cut them off on the side just because I thought that that would look more fun. So that is that. And then flipping it over, we have our watercolor shapes up here, and then we have the lace ones down here. Let's go ahead and start with the watercolor up here. So we have the circles here and the squares, and then the midi boxes, and then it's the same color order. So we have lemon chiffon, honeydew, azure, Alice blue, lavender, lavender blush, Mimi pink, misty rose, seashell, and champagne pink, linen, and alabaster. So I don't know why I'm wiggling this. It's not foiled, but hopefully you can read my handwriting. And then last but not least, we have those lace shapes. So we have the midi classic lace shapes, the circle classic lace shapes, the oval, and then the square. And then they are in the same color order as before. I just feel like this color order, like these colors just look so good together. I really am happy with the color palette that I picked out for this first release. I do plan on adding more colors to this in the future, and then probably when I do release new colors, the new colors will be discounted, but then the old colors won't. Just kind of like introductory pricing for funsies, but that is everything this week. I really hope that you enjoy this week's new releases. Like, I feel like it's just like a little bit much, but I feel like it's also like perfect. I didn't want to like not have a good variety of shapes and not have a good variety of colors too, so I feel like between all of this there's something that you might be looking for. And then of course like the updates to these sheets I spent a long time on, so I hope that you guys like those updates. But give me your feedback down below on what you think about everything this week. It is greatly appreciated. But otherwise, I think that is everything, and I will see you guys later this week for our new releases. Yeah, all right, bye.